Hey everyone, welcome back to Evony with Genghis. So we just got out of the developer call. Yesterday I did a video telling you guys about it, and here's the questions they were going to ask. So they stuck to this format, asking these questions. But what was really nice was at the end, they basically just had a free-for-all. There was like 20, 25 minutes to just talk about other stuff. So lots of topics did get talked about. So let's take a look at some of the stuff. Here's some notes I made. So first, there was a new host. Not that important. It was just someone else taking the feedback. And then the format, just like I just explained. And then we got into all sorts of comments. Basically, every question they asked here, and if you look at the questions, like, what motivates you to play SVS? What do you think of the rewards in SVS? Is it a sense of honor? Like, no. So everyone's answers was just, hey, your rewards suck. The only reason I play is for rewards, and then I stop when I get my rewards because it sucks. There's no reason to play. So all sorts of talk. People talked about how, like, you need more points for temples because Evony was telling us that, hey, we're going to increase the points in temples. What do you think? And people were like, how much are you going to increase them? Because you're not listening to us. And here it is. No one gives a shit about temples. That guy was very funny. I forget your name. Was it Robert? Anyways, very funny comments by him. No one gives a shit about your temples. People just want their rewards and stop. So a lot of people really pushed, myself included. Like, you need to start adding new rewards. Military tactic, optional chest. I brought up just give people pink gems. Let them buy what they want. Or at least twigs and jades people brought up, like seals. These are old items that people bought. And you're selling new items like the military tactical compodiums. Just give these old things. Let people catch up and play for those. And there was a lot of like, we hear you, we understand, we're going to take this serious. And then one lady brought up, like, you have made like $350 million in the last year. And every year for the past like 5 years. How do you not have 24/7 customer service for important issues? Like, people, they didn't say people's accounts are hacked, but this is a thing, right? Like, someone loses access, a problem happens, a glitch happens, they get zeroed, they need help, and they got to wait like 12 hours for a bot to reply, and then another 24 hours after that. How are you not replying to people in real time? Like, just hire some people. And then I brought up, why is there no time slot 8.5? Like, can you give us an answer? Like, why won't you do this? Is it a programming issue? What is the issue? People ask for this all the time. Why can there not be a time slot in between 8 and 9 where there's a 4-hour gap and it's basically North America has to decide play during dinner time or play when you're sleeping? Why can't there be a time that's actually in the middle of the evening? Someone else brought up shorter battlefields. Someone else said Battle of Zoom is a short battlefield. Why isn't it on every server? Why, like, that's something that seems to be a big hit. So it should spread to other servers. A lot of talk was put into merges. Why aren't proper merges done? Why is there servers that are multiple years old that have never got a merge? How do you think this is fair? Obviously, they're inactive servers. They can't keep up in battlefields or SVS against active servers, so that affects their rewards, it affects their risk, it makes them not want to play. I brought up some ideas of how they could change because SVS. I brought up a thing like, why don't you just get points for being on enemy server? You're just there. You should just get points popping out of the top of your castle like it does if you have troops in the temple, just to encourage people to actually play. Let them think that these rewards are obtainable. Hey, if I just keep porting back and forth from server to server, getting points, I can actually earn some decent rewards in SVS and increase the rewards, of course. And then I brought up like a continuous clock for a throne, just make it really long. Because like someone else said, people just go conquer thrones when people sleep. And I don't think that's what SVS is about. No one likes that SVS is 48 hours. People want to have a life outside Evony. People brought up lag, of course. All sorts of every issue that you could possibly think of was brought up. And there was just a lot of, Evony wasn't responding to any of it. It really just turned into players brainstorming, talking amongst themselves, bringing things up. So sort of like the old format that Evony used to have, which I don't think they liked. But I feel like this one went better because Evony wasn't answering. They just let people talk and then, I hope, took their notes and will discuss things afterwards. So another thing that was brought up was like the price of everything. You're expecting people to pay mortgages for everything, and you're not giving them respect in the game. It's just like, oh, well, buy this new item or go away. And, we'll see what they say with it. Obviously, I don't expect that sort of stuff to change because Evany's winning right now, right? They're making money. So that's what they want. They want money. So why would they change anything if it's not affecting their money? But they clearly want to monetize SVS more. That's what this whole conversation was about. How can we get more people playing SVS? And it was basically like, look, you either increase souls, source of life, or you just admit that it's a broken system and maybe turn SVS into like Battlefield. Everybody revives at the end. Obviously, some people brought up the fact that if that sort of thing did happen, you really have to come up with some sort of system to monitor players who, shall we say, like lose on purpose or play wildly and give up points because they just want their individual rewards. So someone brought up it should be neutral or positive points only. Not the negative shouldn't. So like if you're negative, you don't count in the standings for your own personal rewards. Something like that. Who knows what Evony thinks about it. Another thing I said was points should count for more on enemy server. So if I go over there and earn 2 billion points, maybe they're 3 billion points. And likewise, if someone comes to my server and I hit them and I take 1 billion off them, but I lose 500 in the process, they get a better point ratio out of it. Maybe we're equal. Maybe it's 1 billion versus 1 billion in that situation because they took the risk, and you got to encourage people to go to the other server. So anyways, that's pretty much what happened in there. It's hard to say if I feel it was productive. I don't think it was productive because they've never been productive. But I'm curious to see what little, drips and drops they give us of the ideas that were at the end. Do they even include those on the format sheet at the end that they talk about? Or do they just stick to the 5 or 6 questions that they gave us that were basically all entirely the same? And at the very least, we did drive home nonstop that SVS is just way too risky for everyone to play because of the large player gap that exists in buffs, and the rewards just aren't there for it to be worth it for anybody to go and risk their, multi-year investment in their keep. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about all of that, and like, subscribe, leave a comment.